bad piano start the show. Keys all out of tune, just watch them go. Welcome to Adam and Joe talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Outside Scoop. This is episode 24. What you don't realise is that we've had a long break
all summer
since the last episode, which hasn't even gone out yet.
No.
There's, I think, 6 episodes to go out than this one. It may seem seamless to you that we've been podcasting all week, but we haven't. We've been very, very busy since...
Well, I don't think I've
since
uploaded.
after the beer festival.
I don't think I've uploaded one since the beer festival.
No.
We might not have uploaded the beer festival once.
Let me just have a quick look.
Oh, this would be good content.
I'll just have a quick look. See when was our last upload.
I suppose we should have done this before.
It's all good watching, isn't it?
Before, wow.
Everyone can see how...
If you're watching us, you've got nothing left to watch.
Let's see. So we are apparently not on YouTube anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. The bubble machine will give us the answer.
We currently
It's been
got
that long.
We've got 42 subscribers.
Oh.
Oh, the last
Hello.
episode was 19.
Oh, 19.
Side hustles.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was 3 months ago
Wow.
with 8 views.
We're topping the charts.
So that was 20. Just after the election was our last.
Oh, so
our
we did
last
get episode 20 up, did we?
Yeah, so we're
Oh,
not
so
that
we're
far
only
behind.
3 behind then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
So anyway, we've had a busy summer since I guess the election. Let's not dwell on that. We'll talk about politics again at some point.
Soon, I imagine.
Yeah, maybe in a few hours. And then, what have we been up to this summer? So we had the beer festival, we had the
election,
and then...
Well, I mean, the first thing that I remember was I was doing a little exercise and then I got ill. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what happens when you do exercise. You do some exercise and then you get cold and you can't do it anymore. And as I was sort of dealing with this cold, you decided I want to take the Discovery to Scotland.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
Trying to get the Discovery ready in time.
So I had the Discovery, sat on the driveway for 2 years after it failed an MOT.
Yep.
Most of it was suspension issues.
It was all suspension issues. Suspension and brakes, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so it was work that could be done, just never got around to doing it. And
This was about 3 years ago, though, wasn't it?
yeah, when it failed the MOT, and booked a summer holiday to Skye.
Just might as well have just gone to Norfolk.
The other
far away it was.
forever, absolutely forever. It was like 8, 9, 10 hour drive, maybe 12-hour
By
drive.
the time you got to Fort William, you still had 4 hours to
Yeah.
go, and it was 6 hours to Fort William.
Yeah, could have gone anywhere else in Europe quicker and maybe cheaper.
Yeah.
But I wanted to use my Discovery.
Well, at the time, you didn't have a car.
I had the BMW.
Yeah, which was braking.
Yeah. No, it wasn't braking. That was the point.
Was it? Well, I thought
The brakes weren't working.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, it wasn't braking. Yeah, exactly.
I still drove it though.
Well, you
Yeah, just throw the anchor out the side. It'll
do what you got to
eventually...
do, ain't you?
Yeah.
Just push that pedal down harder.
Really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so it went in for MOT. No,
we
didn't go in for MOT. We looked at the old MOT list. Yeah. And we had a really good 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? 2 weeks' time, Joe goes on holiday.
Yeah.
So we got it up on the axle stands, started working through, got the front end done in one evening.
That was easy.
Really pleased with
Yeah.
that work.
Yeah.
And then it was the rear left-hand wheel. The rear left-hand corner was the trickiest one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because that needed a new lower suspension arm.
Yeah.
It needed a new brake line.
That was the right.
Oh, that was rear right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah. Yeah. So the rear left was it just the lower wishbone then, the lower suspension arm?
And what did we do? Was it
and
the hub?
the brakes, the handbrake, the parking brake was the big problem.
That was the big one, but didn't we do the hub on that because you had to pull the drive shaft
That
out
was
and then
it,
that
yeah.
didn't come apart.
That
So we had
was
to
it.
scavenge one from somewhere else.
Yeah, we scavenged one from another car.
And then that worked.
Yeah.
So
And then put that brake line in, which
So-
was a job.
yeah, new brake lines going in.
Yeah.
What did we figure out on that one? What was it? The
I-
servo? Did we replace that, or was it just the line?
The master cylinder was knackered.
That was it.
It was leaking oil. So we replaced the master cylinder.
Yeah.
And I put a whole new brake
And we
line
took
in
that
front
master
to back.
cylinder off the. Was it the Sport?
Yeah, we took the master cylinder off. Yeah, off the Sport.
Yeah.
Sure it was.
Because we've got a Sport which is. It's a 2010.
Yeah.
2012.
But 2012, I think.
I think it's
But all the parts are the same as a 06 plate Discovery.
Yeah. And it's the engine needs replacing on that, but we've just been tearing parts off it to go onto the Discovery.
Yeah. It's just a climbing frame, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So we did all that, and then the big one was a parking brake, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had
That was a
troubles
bugger.
with that because we put new shoes on.
Yeah.
But it was the actual actuator, wasn't it? The box.
The shoes were difficult to get on, though, weren't they?
Pain in the arse.
We eventually figured it out. Once you got the right
Once
angle
you've got the
and
knack, you know how to do it. They go on easily,
Yeah.
but otherwise,
absolute pain.
horrible things.
But to replace the module, the parking electronic parking brake module, you have it sits on a bracket on the frame at the back of the car, underneath the car,
Above the differential.
Yeah,
And it's about the size of a thin shoebox, isn't
and
it?
behind the spare wheel. So you take the spare wheel off. That's not a problem. But then, in order to access it, what you should be able to do is undo the nuts and bolts and pull that bracket out. But this thing's already 20 years old.
Already rotten in. It's part of it.
It's rusted itself together. It's welded, and the only way you could get this thing out was grinding.
Yeah.
Grinding. 2 days of grinding.
Yeah, just cutting metal
Yeah.
in gaps like that, wouldn't it? Just
Yeah.
get the grinder in there and hope it doesn't kick.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
worst job in the world. Worst job in the world. So eventually, I managed to grind it out
Yeah.
and pull away the old unit. What happened on it? It was the gear on the clutch or something, wasn't it? So it's made out of plastic.
Yeah, they've got a gear that lets go on purpose.
Yeah,
So that it doesn't just keep winding and break things.
yeah,
But that winding mechanism, that slip gear,
yeah,
wears out.
yeah.
And that's what ends up happening. That wears out and then it doesn't grip
Because
at
it's
all.
plastic.
Because it's plastic and it's just a poor design.
So got the new module in. I think we found one for 100 quid or something like that.
Yeah, because from the shop they were 300 or 400 quid.
Yeah. So I managed to find a used one.
But we had to swap some bits over.
Yeah, because this
Didn't we?
one was off I think what we found out was like a more modern Sport. Although it more or less looked the same.
The PCB inside was different, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
the PCB was different. So luckily it hadn't destroyed the old one.
Yeah.
So I took the PCB out of that, took the
When we say luckily, because, you know, I'm quite good at just taking a hammer to things to get them out.
or just putting them down.
Or put them down.
And
Put them
it's
down
lost.
and gone forever.
So I think the only thing in the end that we used on that new one was the motor,
And the
the
gears.
plastic motor, and,
Well,
and the cable.
I think all we did was swap over was the PCB, wasn't it?
We swapped the PCB over. There's something else we swapped over as well because that it was like the release catch or something.
Oh yeah, the release catch had gone funny, hadn't it?
Because that was different on the Sport. So anyway, we kind of hybridized a
Got it back
electronic
together is the point.
parking brake.
That took a weekend.
I put it back in. I just shoved it in this time.
Yeah.
Cable tied all everything else. I wasn't going to run the cables back in where they should go. I just cable tied
Got
it all
them
up,
in.
pull it in, and then took it for a drive. And then it was just throwing a fit. Didn't like it. Plugged in the computer and it said something about the angle sensor. Turns out in this electronic parking brake, there's another sensor which you can't see
That was it.
to tell if the car's upside down or not.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
So I had to then figure out a way to mount the.
Because it has to mount correctly, doesn't it?
It has to, yeah.
If
So
it mounts like this, the car thinks it's on its front, doesn't
yeah,
it?
I put it in horizontally,
Yeah.
and it needs to go in vertically. And then I left that job to you because I was like,
I can't touch it anymore.
No,
yeah.
I just like you're good with cable tying stuff.
There's a good bodge in there.
Yeah, you know how to cable tie things and do things with cable ties that no one else can do. So you managed to do that, got it in its vertical position. We did all the brakes,
And
all
it's
the
still
suspension.
there. That wishbone that I did was a pain because I had to grind that out.
Was
You
that-
remember?
That was one wishbone.
That was the rear left-hand wishbone
Yeah.
before the MOT.
and
I
then,
had to grind that out,
so you did
which was
that
good practice.
because we took it in for the MOT after checking everything off the
Yeah.
box.
When did it go in for MOT?
It went in the day before I was going on
Friday
holiday.
morning it went
Yeah.
in for MOT.
And I was going on holiday on the Saturday morning.
That's it.
So I went in Friday morning, You were very confident. I was a bit, I don't know if it's going to pass. And I don't see why it won't pass because we did everything on the list.
We fixed everything on the list.
Yeah.
So in my mind, unless the old MOT had missed something, there's no reason it shouldn't have passed.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
As it goes, it didn't pass.
It didn't pass.
It didn't pass.
And basically, a couple of bushes on both sides of the car deteriorated over the couple of years it's been sat.
Yeah, it was the lower front wishbones over time, wasn't it? The bushes in that.
He phoned me up and he goes, "Yeah, everything's fine apart from the wishbones.
Yeah, lower
both
front
sides.
Wishbones, both sides.
Okay, no problem. Can you do that now?" I said to the garage, "No, we can't do it now."
Yeah.
I said, "Right, okay. If I get it done, can I get it in for the retest this afternoon?
Can I bring it back this afternoon?" I think he laughed at you.
He said, "Yeah, if you do it, and then you can." But I'm forgetting actually. We tried putting this car in 3 or 4 times for the MOT, didn't we? But it was the electronic parking brake every time.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Every time the parking brake failed us, so we had to rebook the MOT.
Yeah,
because it was booked in for the Monday, I think.
Yeah.
And then you moved it to the Wednesday, and it still wasn't working. So then we moved it to the Friday.
Yeah.
Because why bother trying to do things in time?
Yeah, and it was the balancing issue went on the cables. But anyway.
Yeah.
So booked it in, and
actually that was my fault because I'd pulled the spring off. And went, you don't need that. And you did need that because that's what held the cable on the shoes.
So anyway. He booked it in for the MOT. He phoned me, said no, it failed, needs 2 new bushes. I was like, oh yeah, whatever, we'll do that.
Be alright.
And then so I ordered the part just the bushes, and then I was like, no, we're never getting those bushes out of those arms.
The problem is that the bit that we have to cut out is where this bush is.
Yeah.
And the bushes have got like a diamond shaped spacer.
Yeah.
In the bushing that then fits into the wishbone itself.
Yeah.
And that diamond spacer spins. And once that starts spinning, you're never getting it out.
Yeah. So
not by pulling the bolt out.
Yeah, that bolt was never coming out. So we had to. The decision was made to replace the whole arm.
Yeah.
Because we're grinding. We would have had to grind it out anyway.
Yeah, If it's being cut out, we need to just put the new arms in.
So, in this, what should have been probably a good half day, a full day's work.
I reckon if you was, because it's not our job. We would have spent a day on it.
Yeah.
Got one out, had a cup of tea, had some lunch, put the new one in, done the next side in the afternoon, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
But
we had an MOT to get to.
Yeah. So picked the car up probably just gone midday, got the parts before 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it was go time.
And got it done. We got that job done.
Yeah, in about 90 minutes. Just
and we did have to grind both of them out. We had to cut them both out.
Throw everything we could at it. We had to ask matey boy next door how to. What was it? The issue was with getting the pin out of the something. And you're basically jacking it the wrong way.
I was just looking at it the wrong way round. Yeah, I was.
So that took almost half hour of the time, didn't it? Just figuring that bit out.
Just working that out in my head.
And then once we figured that out, popped that off.
Oh, it just went back together.
Grinded that out, and then it put back in.
As we've always said with this car, she wants to be fixed.
Drove it in, past MOT.
Well, no. There's another step to this story, because we got the wishbones in, and then the brake pad wear limit sensors went.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. So on the way to the MOT,
it was outside the barn checking, wasn't it? Where it was like, right, everything's done. Let's just give it a quick check, and it kept throwing up this fault light.
Yeah,
didn't it?
Yeah, brake disc sensor, brake pad sensor,
brake pad sensor.
So I was like, oh my god, there's another thing that's gone wrong with it in half an hour.
Yeah.
So in the 90 minutes that we between picking it up from the place, fitting the wish arm,
fitting it in, and then taking it outside the barn again.
The brake pad sensors decide to throw a wobbly.
Just brake
on both sides. And so what did we do? We went back to
EK's and said to them, we need a set of these now.
Yeah, please have them.
Please have them in stock. And plugged them in and cable tied them up underneath the car.
Yeah.
And they're still there.
Yeah, it didn't fit them. Just plug the sensors in. The car now knows it's got sensors. It's always the sensors that break.
It's always the sensors
not
that
the
break.
thing that is censoring.
No. It's everything bolted to it. Yeah.
So
they're still just cable tied up under the car.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
And then you went on holiday.
I took it in MOT.
Yeah.
And
clean bill of health, I think.
Yeah. And then and then took it on holiday. So,
but the story doesn't end.
Well, it doesn't end there.
It doesn't end.
So whilst
it hasn't stopped.
Whilst the car was up on all fours and whatever, gave it a service. It needed a service because it'd been sat for 2 years anyway.
Yeah.
And it probably needed the service before it was sat.
Yeah.
So changed the filter, changed the fuel filter, oil filter, cabin filter, changed the oil.
Did the lot.
Some other bits and pieces.
Pumped a load of brake fluid through it even, didn't we, when we were doing all that work.
Gave it an engine clean and stuff. Anyway, so did that. So take the car back home, give it a little mini valet before
Little clean up.
jumping there, throwing everything back in there, and then set off on the road to the Isle of Skye. And what time do we leave? I think we left about sort of 6, 7 o'clock in the morning because it was a long drive.
All day.
And it's long winding roads, and there's no motorways. Once you get past Edinburgh or Glasgow, motorways stop. It's all A roads, winding roads, sort of 40 mile an hour the rest of the way.
Tiny little stuff.
Great drive, stunning scenery. When you get to the Highlands, you get that sign on the side of the road. Welcome to the Highlands, and boom.
It's just there.
Yeah, the scenery just opens up. Huge vista of.
You go, oh yeah, it is the Highlands.
Yeah, just mountains for days. Massive mountains. We live in the Lake District, so we think we got mountains.
Yeah,
but no,
they got it is the same mountain range, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just the water's in the way.
Ours are hills in comparison to what they got.
Wow.
And it anyway, great drive. I think probably got about 5 hours into the drive, past what's called the Three Sisters, and took it down the road a little bit further just before this little town. I can't remember what it's called now.
You talk about Fort William?
No, it didn't make it to Fort William. There's another one before that.
Right, okay.
And an Elvis on in the background, having a great time, and engine dies.
Good.
Just like that, just dies, cuts out. First thought was like, bugger, there goes the alternator. I've been on battery now for 5 hours, which you can get 4 or 5 hours out of a battery.
You get something out of them, yeah.
Before it kicks off, and I was like, oh no, the alternator's gone. That's it. Holiday's over. I'm still 4 or 5 hours away from where I need to be.
A day's travel from anywhere.
I was going along at 60 miles an hour, so luckily I could cruise along until I found a lay-by. Got into the lay-by, and I was like, bum. Gave you a call. I was like, what do you reckon? And we're just chatting away, and then I thought, oh, maybe fuel.
Yeah,
I thought maybe fuel.
We discussed fuel, didn't we? And then we mentioned I had a bit of a mare getting the fuel filter on.
So, because we changed the fuel filters, we thought air in the system, I'll bleed it. So I took the cap off, pushed the thing, and
it's got a little Schrader valve on that, isn't it?
And there was air in the system. I was like, oh great, there is air in the system. There is air in the system. So I turned the engine over, and luckily it was turning over. So the alternator hadn't gone.
No,
that was the first thing. I did pull over, start turning it over again. It's like, oh, it's turning over. So there is,
the
it's
battery's not dead.
Yeah, so did that, turned it over. Air coming out, splitting fuel, and then eventually a stream of fuel came out. Close it off, and then you got to do that thing where you got to turn it over 4 or 5 times. For like 30 seconds at a time,
and hope it's not going to die.
And every time you do it, like, battery's going to die now.
Battery's nearly flat.
Battery's going to die.
Battery's nearly flat.
It slows down.
Definitely
it goes
nearly flat. And then it went.
I was like, oh, great.
Thank God.
It's done. Jump in the car. Another 5 minutes. Dead. And now I'm like thinking, oh
yeah, that was right.
Maybe the fuel pump's gone.
Oh, yeah,
maybe there's something else.
Could be a lot of things from there.
And then I did the same thing. I was air in the system. Great, did it.
But you rang me again.
I rang you again to tell you.
And you said, it's got air in the system again.
Yeah.
And we were like, it shouldn't have got more air in it. This was, we might not have said that, but we were both like, where's the air come from?
So I was trying to bleed the engine. It went past the 4 or 5 times of turning it over. We're into the 10s and 11 times of turning it over now. And there's a car park just over there. So anyway, I pulled over into a bus. Yeah, into a bus spot. But there was a co-op over the road with a car park, which I couldn't make it to. I was like, if I could just get to the car park, I could have more of a play with it instead of just being on the side of the road, basically. This guy in the Defender pulls up, and he goes, "You want a hand, mate?" I said, yeah, I could do with the garage.
Yeah.
Because I think maybe as I need to
wrong.
something like maybe it's pump or a fucking pressure test something or whatever. So I was one down the road. I'll take you there. So I don't know if they'll be open because it was like 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
So all right, well take me there. So I jump in the Defender, takes me around. No, it won't open. Drops me back, and I'm like that. Oh god. Oh god, I don't know what to do. I've got all the kids in the car, Gemma's in the car, car's not bloody working.
Yeah, everyone's there, loaded up with gear.
I just trying to figure out like what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like, I'm jumping on Facebook. Can I buy a car?
Yeah, well that's what you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Can I buy one quick?
Can I buy a cheap car quickly just to do the holiday? And anyway, it kept bleeding. It kept turning it over, and eventually it started.
Yeah.
And what it was doing, what it was starting but dying. It was going, and then, because there was air in the system. But anyway, eventually it started and kept ticking over. The lid was up on the bonnet. I just jumped in the car. I was like, I haven't got the time to put the lid down.
No.
I need to use these 30 seconds I got
to get it back to the car.
to get to this car park across the way. So I'm driving with my head out the window like that. I pull into the car park, and then I was like, right, I need a wee. I need to go to the toilet. So I went to the toilet, got a bottle of water, drank it, and then you obviously said fuel filter.
Yeah,
15, 20 minutes, whenever it was.
Yeah.
You just mentioned, I had trouble getting the fuel filter on.
Yeah.
Maybe there's air in the system. That's what you said. And I was like, right, I'm going to check it. I'm going to check the fuel filter. So I went underneath, and then the cable, the pipes weren't in properly.
Yeah.
So I just pushed the pipes in because the push fit.
That's all it was. That's where the air was coming from.
And that was where the air was coming from. And I did that. Click. Started her up. Bled it. And it was just fine.
And it was fine.
And it was fine until.
And it's fine till now. The fuel is fine. There's nothing wrong with the fuel now.
The fuel's fine now.
Fuel's fine. But then there's more.
There's more. But wait, there's more. So we're sort of 2-3 days into the journey, into the holiday. And we go over to a place called Coral Beach.
Sounds
delightful. It's a lovely beach. It's white sands, blue water, and it's white sands because of the coral. There's coral in Scotland. Small little pink corals.
Wow.
And then when they die, they obviously bleach, turn white, and they grind up into
sand.
So we get to this car park, and there's this car in a ditch, like on the camera, like that. So we've got the ditch here. That's the car. The car was like that, in the ditch.
Wasn't it like a little Micra or something?
It was a Micra or a Nissan or what? It was a rental car.
Right.
A little holiday rental car. An American couple had hired it for their holiday, and it was in a ditch. And I said, second I pulled up there, I was like, "You want a handmate pulling it out?" Like him, just like, "Do you want me to pull it out for you?"
Yeah. That's what you do in a Discovery.
Yeah. And
you go around pulling out tiny cars.
That'd be great. That'd be great. I've been here 2 hours. No one's helping me out, and I'm looking down the car park, and I can see like Ford trucks and other 4x4s and other capable cars. No one offering to help pull him out.
Nah.
But I'm up for the banter.
Wow.
So,
why else do you have a 4x4 if not to do these things?
So got the kids to get out of the car. They're all loving watching the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
I got my rope out, my 3-ton rope.
That strop you got.
And he had a chain which he borrowed from a farmer. I can't believe actually he went to a farmer.
Where did he? Yeah.
And it said, "Can I borrow a chain to pull my car out?" And the farmer didn't just go, "Let me get my tractor."
Yeah.
Because that's
He's
what they do.
not asked the right thing, is he?
So anyway, we had this great big chain and my rope, and we put the cars together. What I couldn't figure out actually, I could not find the towing eye on the front of the car.
Oh, it is.
We got the bolt, the actual towing eye, but I couldn't find where it went. Could not see for love of money where it went. I eventually did, but it was so well hidden in the bumper. Like it looked like it was, because it's just a little square, isn't it?
Just a little,
you just flick it out.
Cover, isn't it?
But I couldn't find it, and I found it eventually. But to start with, I just strapped around his front axle,
just got it on there, and dragged it out,
pulling it on that. So start pulling him out. And I'm just going up and down this ditch with him, with the car just pulling it around like a rag doll. Couldn't actually lift it out of the ditch because I had all the cars up one side, and I just couldn't get that angle to pull him out.
Right.
Because the ropes were too long, the chain was too long, so I couldn't get a good angle to pull him out. And then he was useless with his steering, and like basically just helping. Like I was like, jump in the car, just put the engine on a little bit and steer out if you can.
Yeah.
And as soon as you feel some traction, give it a good steer and good
get
pull,
out.
and beep the horn and let me know.
And he wasn't doing anything.
He was just being useless. So I'm dragging him up and down this ditch. I've cleared the ditch out now for them. And it's a rental car, and this, whatever. The insurance will cover it. And then there's this couple here who are just sat in their car waiting, watching. I was like, can you move your car? And then I can pull into that space and I can then pull him out. And they're like, yeah. And then didn't do anything. Just like, didn't understand what I was trying to say to them. Move your car out of the way so I can pull into that space. I need to use that space. I need the space to be able to, move them to the side.
And they went,
yeah. It's like the film Fifth Element.
yeah.
Where not Chris Tucker, what's his name? Bruce Willis. He's shouting to the deaf guy, throw me a gun, and he goes, yeah, and throws him some pool balls.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, thanks. And he's like, yeah. Anyway, it was just like that. It's just like, you're not helping. I'm not telling you to sit. Anyway, I just went, I'll just carry on. So anyway, I eventually managed to get it out of the ditch.
Yeah.
After a few attempts, I've managed to get it out of the ditch. And I look under the car, and it's spotless. I was actually surprised we did no damage to that car.
What's that, Nissan?
Yeah.
Really?
No damage to it. After dragging it up and down the ditch and yanking it out and bucketing wheels or whatever.
And it was all right.
It was all right. And I said, you've got away with this, mate. Like, you're not going to
Don't go in another ditch.
And then he said, cheers, buddy, and then just drove off. Where's my drink, mate?
Yeah,
I didn't ask for anything, but just like, come on.
Yeah. You got to sling someone 20 quid.
Yeah, like you're an American, don't you tip people?
Yeah.
I just saved you like $1,000 in recovery
At
fees.
least, yeah.
So anyway, I was doing that. I think I did damage to the car. So on the drive back, it was going
Yeah.
at a certain engine rev. I was like, oh god, what's that? I was like, maybe it's the engine because it's not, it's been sat for a couple of years and maybe something's dirty. I'll run some engine cleaner through it, try and clear it out, see if that helps. No, and then it's still going.
No.
It was when I was getting to a certain speed, I was like, oh god, what's this? Don't like this. Are we gonna get home now? So I pull over to the cottage we're staying at, raise the suspension up.
Get underneath.
Yeah, for some reason I thought drive shaft. Get underneath, gave the drive shaft a shake, and it was like the whole centre bearing went. So no centre bearing on the drive shaft, on the Isle of Skye. There's no motor factors. There's no way you can go get parts.
There's no shop to go and get a centre, and you've got no tools.
No tools. I had my Leatherman.
There's many things you can do with a Leatherman.
Well, it fixed the car several times whilst I was out there. And I was like, oh, bum. So the rubber on the bearing had perished. So
Which is kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
In that it looked like the original and it had been sitting doing nothing for 3 years.
Yeah, and that's why they got to move, haven't they? These rubber things. Anyway, it went. So jump on Google. How much is the centre bearing? Nothing. 10, 20 quid, whatever.
I bought one for 12 quid for you.
And I was like, right, I can get the part. I can get the part. I can get it delivered. I just need a garage to fit the thing. Phone all the garages on the island. No, sorry, mate. 2 weeks, can't do anything. 3 weeks, can't do anything. I can fit you in next month. No, I'm on holiday. I won't be here in a month's time. I just need the bearing replaced. I looked on YouTube for a quick how-to. Didn't look like a big job.
Yeah.
If you've got the right tools in the lift.
It's an hour, isn't it? As we now know.
So they're like, no, nobody. And I was like, oh, right, cheers. Then I saw another video of a guy who made a repair to his one with silicone. I was like, I'll give that a go.
Got nothing to lose at that point.
Got nothing to lose. So next day, there's a Juicens on the island.
Was it a Juicens you went to? Yeah.
There's no Travis, no screw fix, no B&Q. It was a Juicens.
Nothing normal or cheap.
So I go in there, and obviously I'm paying a cash account, so full price.
Yeah.
I didn't mind spending the money on the silicone. I wanted a good solid.
Yeah, you want like a Sikaflex or something,
Yeah.
don't you? Something
Or
strong.
proper silicon. So I didn't mind spending money on that, and then I just wanted a cheap gun.
Cheap silicon gun because it's got to do one job
Yeah.
and it's going to get thrown in the bin.
There's a £5 one.
Yeah.
No, they haven't got any of those in stock.
Nope.
No.
No. Have they got any 10, 15 pound Cox ones?
Nope.
No.
No. So I had to get the proper one with a clutch and a bloody coffee espresso machine
That's
on it.
yeah, and
it
the
was like-
guides and.
So I spent £80 on a gun and bloody and silicon. And I was like, oh, this is crap. I haven't spent that much money. But got into the car, filled in the gap between the bearing and the bracket
Yeah.
with the silicon, let it set for 24 hours, and it worked.
And it worked.
So £80 was fine in the end.
Yeah.
If it didn't work, it would have been £80. I'd been mugged off. But
yeah.
it got me home, which was the key thing.
Yeah.
So and that was the discovery journey.
No, there's more to it.
Well, then we get it back and we fix it.
Then we got home.
Yeah.
Then we went to go and replace the bearing,
Yeah.
but the universal joint in the middle was knackered, wasn't it? Do you remember it fell apart?
Yeah, when you pulled it
So
apart.
you had to
yeah.
buy a new prop shaft in
Yeah.
the end. But then
Oh, another.
we took
yeah.
it for a test drive, and we started hearing a knock, 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 knock,
Yeah.
knock, knock. We're like, where is that knocking coming from? And it was the front left drive shaft.
Yeah,
wasn't
another
it?
drive shaft.
Another drive shaft had gone.
Yeah. So yeah, replace the drive shaft in yet. Well,
And
replace the centre bearing.
Replaced the
But
prop
that-
shaft entirely.
That's the centre bearing replaced with the original prop shaft didn't work because it wasn't balanced basically.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Like, when we took it apart, we should have took it apart all lined up and everything.
yeah, but it just fell apart on us, didn't it?
So it wasn't balanced when it went back on. So I brought another one for only £100, and
Well,
it
a lot
had
of money, was it?
Had the bearing on it and everything. So it was just a simple case of dropping the old one out, dropping the new one in,
Mm.
job done.
It's. I think I worked out it's 13 bolts now.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And then took it for the drive, like I said, and then it was knock.
Mm.
And then the front left or right,
Front left
whichever.
drive shaft. It's
So-
like a bucket and a bearing.
So what happened was
It's frightening, is what happened.
the CV boot
It
was
split.
was replaced on the MOT for
Yeah.
our thing. So we put a universal joint on it,
You
greased
boot,
it all up.
universal boot.
new
yeah.
boot, greased it all up and everything.
Yeah.
And obviously, what had happened at some point between that week and me bringing it back, a bit of stone or something had come up and split that boot, hadn't it?
That's what it looks like.
And it spun all the grease out
Yeah.
because the thing just fell apart.
Just absolutely. Well, when we
The
pulled
bearings
apart,
just went.
it's got 3 bearings in it.
Yeah.
As I suppose you'd call them bearings, but it's got 3 bearing surfaces in it,
Yeah,
and one of them was missing.
yeah.
So it spat one of them out somewhere. So it was running on 2.
Yeah.
It was frightening. That I don't
Yeah.
know how it did that on its own.
And it was bone dry, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I think it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. It's done 10,000 miles since. It's
Has
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's done that about that in sort of 2-3 months, and it's broken back in again.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
running
all
smoothly,
the
hasn't it?
seals have expanded again, and all the rubber's feeling good.
Yeah.
And,
We've just got to do a cam belt now.
yeah, and then the turbos next year.
Oh.
But no, yeah, discos.
They're
Given that they're built on. Well, no, they're built before the Sport, weren't they? And then the Sport
Yeah.
borrowed the Disco. But given how bad these Sports can be,
the disco's great.
the Disco seems to be doing all right. And
Better than the Range Rovers.
yeah, I've said it last week. I'm preferring the Disco to a L322.
Yeah.
It's feeling a bit more. They're not sporty cars, but when you drive a Range Rover and then drive a Disco, it feels sporty.
I think it's that, but it also there's a dependability in that
Yeah.
Discovery, isn't there? That
Yeah.
Disco has never actually let you down until the MOT failed,
Yeah,
and you absolutely bullied that car.
yeah,
You did not look after it, did
Mm.
you? And then since then, we just had a month of teething problems.
yeah,
That's all.
yeah. It's good, solid car, reliable so far,
Yeah.
and it's massive for like moving stuff about.
Yeah. It's huge. It's,
You know.
it's basically a van, isn't it?
If you want a
So-
car van, that's the kind of thing to get.
Yeah.
And yeah, Discoveries.
Madness.
Cheers to them.
Yeah. Cheers. Give a
Little cheer.
cheers, Discovery.
do that.
There we go. Lovely.
So I think we'll leave that episode there then, because that was a topic, wasn't it?
That was something to talk about.
Discoveries.
Wasn't it? Disco
I
life.
didn't think we were going to talk about discos, but
I think we've got the next few episodes are just going to be catching up.
So that was episode 24.
24, I think.
Oh, nice.
24.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, share.
This has been the Outside Scoop.
See you next time.
Tar-bye.
Oh,
No tar-bye.
no. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Where the bad pianos start the show, keys all out of tune, just watch 'em go. Welcome to Adam and Joe talking nonsense on the Outside Scoop podcast show.